Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Portland River Hogs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Portland River Hogs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Meanwhile, for this visiting Portland club, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback, Nick Foles.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdowns.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And taken right on the 30. A great return there of 22 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Murray got a man open. It's Ross. The 20. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Now Jones. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Ronald Jones with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And shedding through the tackle. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Foles. This one caught by his tight end Oliver. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Check girls, check girls.
First down, Murray. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. The numbers for Howard a week ago, 6 catches, 69 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown! Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. He's showing the different ways he can hit you in this first quarter. 1 rushing, 1 receiving touchdown.
He's showing us he's not just a stereotype, isn't he? Not just a guy who carries the ball in the backfield, can get out into space, make plays with his hands downfield. That's a pretty good combination right there.
Defensively, you'd prefer to be going against the stereotype, wouldn't you?
At least you know where he is, right? That gives you a chance to get more people to him and get him on the ground.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
53, 53. Watch the run.
Foles. And it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 36 yards on the play. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
That's a gain of 7. Get the ball. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Here's Foles. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves. Not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great. That's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. The starters defensively now for Jacksonville. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Mike Fofo. Here we go. Just me and you. It's just me and you.
3rd and 2, and here's Murray. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another first and goal. 21-0 our score after one. Shotgun now from Murray. And it's caught. Touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. In Pointer, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And a Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out. It's going the other way. And he will score. It's a touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense led by D.D. Westbrook trotting back onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on them. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. On second down, here's Fournette. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Completes it to Benjamin. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. On third down, Benjamin. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a third down gain of 10 to pick up the first.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Murray again, 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Leonard Fournette. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll look to throw here. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. Tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Jags grab it. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Throwing on second down. Foles. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working inside.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Jack with a sack.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Murray. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So we've reached halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. On third down, Benjamin. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Check. At the 14-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Pushing his way through, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. This one caught by Isabella. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Benjamin's got it. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out. To the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Again, it's Fournette. And now running right through him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Jaguars. Watch the boot.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
On the jet sweep, here's Westbrook. Takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jags are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
Everyone felt like this game was over, but to be able to stay in it, put together a drive, score a touchdown, that's got to be a positive for them.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Cooper able to find Isabella. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Cooper on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A gain of 37. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the fourth quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
Eluding the pressure right. And it's a touchdown. Their mobile quarterback with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And now out come the Jags. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up the throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
12 yards on the return that time. So here are visitors to take over on offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season. And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if they're running.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll run on 1st down. Benjamin. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Back.
At the 28-yard line.
Cooper operating from the gun. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. This quarterback now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. Back to throw. Cooper. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Rolling to his right. Campbell making the catch. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 42. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Got an open man, that's Campbell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
10 more there and another first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
Let's go.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitors, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.